And as a young guy, my mother's friends, my mother was involved in a lot of stuff, but I've had older women who thought I wasn't being parented correctly, slightly try to take advantage of me, and not slightly, have taken advantage
Right,
of
but
me.
you lost your virginity to two 30-year-olds
Yeah,
at the same time?
yeah, two ugly, horrible looking women.
And
What was I?
you were how old?
11.
11.
Going to 12. I had no hair on me.
Right.
I remember not having, and it was disgusting. And to this day, it's difficult for women to get me to go down. It's difficult. The girls that have had it, you're welcome. But it's hard. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to go down, man, because I remember what it was like down there. It was like, it was like a scary jungle. It was a terrible place to be. It was a terrible place to be, and they were like taking turns. I was just happy to be up, and it made my Kool-Aid taste different for a long time.
I mean, we laugh about this.
I know, but because I'm a boy, I know it's different,
Right.
and we should know. We need to just pay more attention to what happens. But
Now, what happened with your female babysitter at 7 years old?
Oh man, research. I mean, long story short, I was molested. I was a little kid. I didn't know anything. I didn't know any better. Spend the night, and she just took it upon herself to kind of try to introduce me to a different world. You know what I mean? She was basically an adult, me, a young adult, and I'm like 7, and she just opened my eyes to sexuality or whatever. I couldn't sleep with her, of course, but it was still just like being molested, the whole situation. I mean, you can imagine, 7 years old.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times when you hear this type of thing happening, and you hear, little girls getting molested, and there's a certain, way that you look at it, or you hear boys getting molested by by grown men. So there's a certain level of way that you look at it. But like the way you described it, it was almost like not the same thing as that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a crime. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate no matter what, boy or girl. I don't think it should happen to anybody. I think for guys, it's like we pat ourselves on the back like, yeah, that happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Because we just look at it like, oh, we got an opportunity at an early age. You know what I'm saying? And but when I think about it, it opened me up to some stuff that I shouldn't have. Man, 7 years old, you're supposed to be playing with Ninja Turtles. You know what I'm saying? And so it just opened me up to a different world and an appetite that I shouldn't have had that early. And so it created problems down the road that I had to deal with later on. In terms of just like getting caught messing with little girls at 10 and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying some people will say, oh, that's just normal. That's what everybody was doing in the neighborhood or whatever, but that don't make it right. You know what I mean? That don't make it like legit just because it was normal. We all got beat with water hoses. We all got, socked out by uncles or something like that, but that don't necessarily make it right. So it just opened me up to a world I probably should not have, that I shouldn't have had to experience.
I mean, 7 years old with a grown woman, male or female, like, I could see how that could create problems.
Oh, yeah.
What brought you into the rap game?
It was an escape for me. And I'm gonna say something. I never said this in no interview, no podcast or anything like that. I grew up real violent and real aggressive. Not because I wanted to be, but I was molested when I was a child. So I had this fear of being vulnerable. So I took every kind of martial arts you could take, and I even boxed. I did everything, and I wanted to be the toughest person on earth. But writing and making music was always an escape for me. Like I never had the nuts to come out and say that. This is my first time saying this today since I've been.
Yeah, but I know that route too. Why do you think I became the meanest motherfucker on the planet? Somebody did something to me,
Yes, sir.
and I didn't want it to happen again. So I became This guy.
Yeah. Take it to the furthest extent.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's my story.
That's the
But
real deal.
it was really everything that I did. Even like people say, like Kevin Gates, he this killer. I'm not. But the reason I speak about it now, cause I just released a mixtape like maybe a few months ago, and guys walk up to me in the gym like bodybuilders and just hug me and cry and be like, "Man, I went through the same shit you went through. Like, keep doing what you're doing." So I'm like, I guess I'm on the right
Yeah.
path.
I had so much childhood trauma. I don't even really know where to start. It started in the very beginning of my life. I watched my mother get beat up by my stepfather. There's always violence in my house all the time. People getting shot and police coming to my house. And when I was a little older, my mother shot one of her boyfriends because they was fighting, and so I hit him with a bat, and my mother just reached on the pillow and shot him in the face. And I saw all his teeth come out of his mouth and a big ass chunk of meat go against the wall. And my life was crazy as a kid. I just saw everything you don't need to see. Then molested by my, she made me lick her. She used to lick on me, and